Hey guys, welcome to the Professional Development Podcast. Today is episode 75, and we're going to talk about morning routines. We're going to talk about quotes, books, blogs, articles, what are good and bad morning routines. Can morning routines actually fuck you up in the long run? And before we get into that, Dan had a quick message that he wanted to throw out.
I'm surprised, episode 75, that you, out of all people, didn't want to do an episode on 75 Hard.
Oh my God. What is wrong with you, Matthew Cresco?
I don't know.
I mean, you're like
just not that fucking cool, Frisella.
You're through like phase 6 by now.
Can we clip that and tag Frisella in that?
Oh, yeah.
It's not that fucking cool, Frisella.
Yeah.
All right. Now, before we get started, I guess I just want to throw out, if you guys do like the content.
Dan, look at the camera when you talk to him, will you?
I'm not going to look at the camera.
Look at the audience address.
Now you're making it weird. Never mind. Don't fucking leave us any reviews, please.
Don't follow us. Don't leave a comment.
Whatever, unfollow us.
Hey guys, do us a favor if you get the chance. Follow us on Instagram, follow us on Facebook, follow us on YouTube. Subscribe, download, like, share. We're getting a good amount of traction this year so far, but it would help a lot if you guys would share the podcast. Just like Andy Frisella's, we don't take sponsors, right?
Yeah.
Is it because nobody's offered?
Dues.
Is it because nobody's offered? Maybe. Nonetheless, we don't take sponsors because we just want to provide you with quality content. Okay?
No offer is good enough.
So one more time, like, share, subscribe.
Okay.
If you like our podcast.
Now we can talk about your routines.
Thanks. Okay. So
we can talk about
the whole time he kept saying morning. I was like, what?
No, we can
the whole time.
We can start talking about magic time. Why don't we start there?
So here's the thing. I've done, and before we get into quotes, I've done a lot of morning routines.
Hold on.
What's magic time?
Magic time is a morning routine that Craig really likes.
So this is what happened.
Craig? That's what I said.
Exactly. So I'm sitting there.
That's what he told me. I go, what's magic time? He goes, Craig likes magic time.
I'm showing something.
Magic Matt.
So yeah, that's the story. It probably could have been said in a little more eloquently. Okay. But I'm sitting there with Dan and showing him something on my computer, and he sees every morning from 6:30 to 7:30 a.m. it just says magic time. And Dan goes, "What the fuck is magic time?" I go, it's a morning routine I learned from Craig. He goes, "Who the fuck's Craig?" And I go,
"We don't know."
So it's a morning anyway. It was the one I learned from Craig Ballantyne. That's what he called it. So. Anyway, it's a good story. It's hilarious, and I no longer block my calendar with magic time anymore.
Did you delete it today after that happened?
No, this was months.
So wait.
Okay. I thought
what was magic time? What was it?
So we can get into that, and I'm going to talk about that. I'm going to talk about the different ones, but let's start with quotes in terms of morning routines, or since Dan didn't do any prep work, probably just routines in general, because you couldn't find one on morning routines.
No, I got one on routines.
Yeah.
Because I don't really believe in morning routines. Well, we'll get into that later. We'll get there. So my quote, John C. Maxwell, "You'll never change your life until you change something you do daily. The secret of your success is found in your daily routine." Right? So honestly, that's like the compound effect to me, where if you do something every day, that's a routine with, you get that compound interest every day, and you'll lead to something successful.
Nice. What do you got, Brad?
So what I have is from Josh Lahan. "Having a routine is great, but only if it serves your goals. If not doing that, it's called a rut." And what I thought was interesting by that is there's a lot of people who have a routine every single day that they do, and it could be very inefficient, or it's just not doing anything beneficial for them. So it's I've got this sweet morning routine, but maybe they haven't grown at all in that whole entire time frame. So I thought that one was a pretty interesting one.
Yep, I like it. Bobby?
I have two quotes today. I went with a Dan on here. So the first quote that I have is from a Richard Robert, better known as Ricky Bobby. Here's the deal. I'm the best there is. Plain and simple. I mean, I wake up in the morning and I piss excellence.
Damn, that's a dope-ass quote.
A dope-ass morning routine.
That is it. I mean, you have to. But on a little bit more real level, Jocko, being a guy who's like all about his morning routine. I think about every single morning he wakes up and posts his picture of his watch, and it's usually between 4:30 and 4:45. His quote is, "Don't think about it. Don't rationalize anything. No snooze button. No just 5 more minutes. Just get up when your alarm clock goes off." And I mean, it's something that I've been good at. I've been bad at. I'm currently bad at. But I think it's something that a lot of people do. So, good one that I liked.
For sure. Jocko's the man. Sal, do you have one? Do you do these?
Yeah. I have a
Tyreek
morning
Hill was traded to
routine,
the
but,
Dolphins.
No, do you got,
But yeah, one quote that I thought was interesting that I saw on Goodreads was like, your energy in the morning is a clean slate, and you get a chance every day to build it up the way you want it.
why do you like that?
I mean, I see every day, like when I wake up, I'm like, all right, today's a new day. Today's a new day. I'm happy. And it only takes something to piss me off or something that makes me happy. So,
Which way are you going to go?
yeah.
Yep.
But for me, I mean, I tend to look at the positive things. I don't like to view.
You don't fuck with negative.
I don't want to deal with negative shit.
Oh wait, go ahead, Matt. You got a quote, right?
Yeah, just a quick one. And this is just a Tim Ferriss one. If you win the morning, you win the day. I think there's a lot of different ways to go about winning the morning, right? And there's whether it's a routine or whatever, but win the morning, win the day. That's always one that stood out to me. And based off my experiences, every time I've developed some type of habit in the morning, because I've had a million of them, if there's something that's a constant there, then that usually helps me throughout my day.
Magic time.
So
Magic time.
I'll circle back. So that's everybody's quotes, right? We're good. To what kind of what you said, Brad, where I actually believe that in terms of a morning routine, I think that, and I could be wrong, this is an opinion piece, so OGDG.
No GDG.
I think that everybody has a morning routine, right? And I mean, everybody you can think of wakes up in the first 15 minutes, 20 minutes, they probably do the exact same thing every day subconsciously. But when you start to turn that to something conscious where you control the morning routine, I think that's where you see progress, where the morning routine, until you build it into a habit, I guess, right? Where it is positive. But there can be bad morning routines and there could be good morning routines, but I think everybody has a routine. It'd be very hard for me to believe that somebody wakes up and does something different every
day.
single fucking day. So.
Yeah, so I'll just kind of go into that. Jordan Peterson talks about like you need a routine and you need to start by like basically picking a time to get up. And not everybody does that, obviously. Like, yeah, I'm some person that can fluctuate for sure. But what he says is like, yes, in the morning, there's your cortisol levels are actually at their highest. So you're most prone to stress. So having some type of routine actually like gives some regularity there so that you are less, less prone to being stressed. Also, waking up at the same time every day, no matter what time you go to bed, waking up at the same time regulates your circadian rhythm, which also regulates your moods.
I love circadian rhythms. I read a whole book about that.
Yeah.
Which book?
Sleep.
Oh, that's right.
By Nick
That was like the
Littlehales.
book you read
was
when
the
you came on the pod.
That was the first book that I was reading whenever I came on the pod, and it was the first book that I read of 75 Hard a couple years ago. It's a good one.
Mm-hmm.
So I was going to talk on Sal's quote a little bit. Brad Lee talks about $1 million morning. I don't know if you guys heard him talk about this, but basically what it is when you, like, if somebody offered you $10 million today, but you're not going to wake up tomorrow, would you take it?
No.
The answer is always no. So what he says is the greatest gift you have every single morning is the fact that you woke up. So instead of taking that time and like thinking of something that stresses you out or something that pisses you off, think about something positive to start your day, and you've already had $1 million morning, and you build off of there.
Yeah. I don't want to get too sidetracked on Brad Lee, but he said something that I disagree with. Well, just because, I disagreed with it. And then he said, so he said two things. He was like, dude, if somebody has a car and it's a little bit dirty inside, like they'll never be a millionaire.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, that's pretty aggressive. And then the next day he posts, if Elon Musk was in the room, I'd be completely unimpressed with him.
Yeah. So I think I saw the same thing, and I think it was like, did I send that one to you?
No.
Okay. Because
he
said one thing like, you need to act the part, be the part type thing, and like I get that, but I also think like I think if you like look at the stats of like how many millionaires drive like a 10-year-old car, or like, you know, like they don't buy like something that's extravagant. There's a lot of people. And I think even Mr. Beast like lives in like a normal house, drives normal cars.
Elon Musk lives in a $50,000 prefab home. So
yeah, so I thought that was interesting because like my wife's like, dude, go buy a new truck. And you buy a new truck. I'm like, yeah, I do need to buy a new truck, but like it's just not on the top of my priority list. Like I don't really care. Like it's just my truck. I drive it to and from work. So I don't think that indicates how successful a person's going to be of what they drive, how they dress. Because I also think doing that is judging a book by its cover, and that's probably one of the biggest mistakes you could ever make.
Yeah. So I don't mean to get too far off track with routines. There was a couple things.
We all like Bradley, but yeah, he's a guy that it's like take or leave. You know what I mean? Like in certain stuff, he's almost Gary Vaynerchuk-esque, where he's just an absolutist about like everything that he says.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll still have you on the podcast though.
Yeah.
For sure.
Oh, come on. I'll call him out.
But Dan hates you.
I like him, but go ahead.
You got it?
Yeah, we're good.
We can.
I feel like he's got it off his chest now. I feel like he's good to go.
Fuck, I've been wanting to tell somebody that.
That's his morning
What
routine.
are some of the best or worst morning routines that you've ever adopted?
Okay, so I have not been doing this at all lately. And it's just a pussy fucking excuse. But literally, I feel like I get the most done. I feel the most productive, the most clear-headed when I do actually wake up in the morning and go work out. That being said, I haven't been to the gym in like probably close to a month now. A little bit of it is like my wrist is still fucked up, which like I could still go for a run. I could still go for a bike, but I haven't done any of that. And the other excuse is like, dude, this daylight savings time this year like really fucked me up. Like it being so dark in the morning, like for some reason I just keep hitting snooze on the alarm clock, and that is not like me at all. But the best thing I could do is get up and work out in the morning. And I think it is beneficial if you do that. And I'm sure there's science to back that, which I'm sure Matt has.
Yeah. For me, it's just, and there's a ton of people that say this, like getting the hardest thing of your day knocked out first. And that way you pretty much have won the day because you got like that thing that you didn't want to fucking do, whether that's working out, right? Which for me, it definitely is. But, or, you know, maybe it's those 5 cold calls, or maybe it's an email or admin work from me or Matt, or, you know what I mean? Where it's like, if I just knock out getting these invoices done, or if I knock out this cold call or whatever it is, once that's done, the rest of the day is like free time basically to do proactive things versus reactive things. Because the longer I leave that on my plate, like the more I know it's there and I feel behind, and then it starts to pile up. So for me, it's just knocking out those hard pieces.
For sure. I agree with Brad. The mornings, and I haven't been doing this either. I've actually been doing a lot of evening workouts, which is totally the opposite of what I've been doing for a lot here recently. Whenever I get up, I get a lift in, I go for a walk, I go for a run, I feel so much better the rest of the day, and it kind of sets the tone. So I do agree that's one of the best ways that you can start your day. I think also like hitting that snooze, and like I'm the same way to daylight savings time. Like I was so pumped to have the longer day, but then my morning, same thing. Like I'll hit the snooze at 5:20 and I'll be dead to the world until I wake up at 6:15, and I'm like, fuck. Yeah. Like I was supposed to be up an hour ago. And then I think one of the other things that I had on here too, and it's just as far as a good morning routine, getting that first win, right? So making my bed is something that I literally never did my entire adult life until about a year ago. And as long as I sleep in my own bed, and I'm not like at a hotel or anything like that, or an Airbnb, my bed is 100% made every single day. So I think that's a really good habit that I picked up.
I made my bed at a hotel before. Like
it's weird sometimes.
Like for conferences, and you feel better, you know, but there's a book about that by that Navy
I feel
SEAL.
like that's some serial killer shit. Like making your bed at a hotel.
I mean, I want my room clean, you know.
If you have the do not disturb on there and you want to come back to
I
a
never
made
let
bed.
anybody in. I always have do not disturb. Like I'll stay.
Brad in LA, I didn't make our bed.
Well, that's because they wouldn't make our bed. Remember?
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, they wouldn't make our bed.
They're like, we haven't serviced your room actually in like 3 weeks, and we're like, oh, that's why we found panties in the drawer here.
No,
we
those
didn't know where they
were
were
for sure
from.
Matt.
Property of Matt.
They had Matt written on the tag.
Well, the reason that Dan has the do not disturb sign on sometimes because he's not worried about the morning. He's like, if he's at a hotel, he's not waking up at 6 o'clock in the morning.
Fair.
Did you read that book though? It was a Navy SEAL. I forget his name, and he did the whole speech on make your bed.
I know what you're talking about. I did not read that book, but
So that's Admiral McRaven. If you want to change the world, start by making your bed.
Yeah.
That's quite the book title.
No, it's not the book title, but it's that's the quote that's famous for him.
Oh, okay,
it's just
okay.
I think it's just called "Make Your Bed."
Gotcha.
Yeah. So for me, Brad, to go off of yours, yeah, there's a lot of science behind like exercise reduces cortisol levels and obviously produces endorphins. So it's a really good way to start the day. So probably won't surprise you guys. Like I'm a person that's fucked around with different types of morning routines.
magic
like
time.
every possible type of morning routine you can imagine. I remember one time, it was like right when I broke away, I was sitting at home working from home, and it was like my morning routine was like 2 fucking hours long. And then like I would start work and I'd be like, I'm fucking drained. Like I don't even want to do shit. So I've messed around with a lot of different ones. The best one I ever had was a combination of Craig Ballantyne's and Bedros Keuilian. So Craig Ballantyne is the author of The Perfect Week Formula. Bedros is Man Up. And it was wake up at between 5 and 5:30, no snooze, no nothing, coffee, protein, right to work. The like an hour and a half of like whatever the work is. And this actually starts the night before. So you create whatever it is, your power list, your get shit done list, whatever it is. So you know the biggest items that you can tackle right up front. And then I would do this, and that's when I did it for like 40 whatever days. And then I would be done with like the hardest thing that I needed to do, or hardest couple of things that I needed to do by 7 o'clock. And then I could do like visualization, and then I could do like meditation, prayer, whatever other stuff, like do a little bit of that. And I would still be able to be in the office before everyone else, and then have my morning meeting, get whatever done. And I'd do like a mid-morning
I must have
workout.
missed like that period of time where you got in the office before everybody else.
Me?
Yeah, was that like?
No, it was during phase 2. And it was literally like, I remember talking to you, and it was a point where you're like, dude, you need to slow down.
I don't remember that.
Yes. Yeah.
That's
yeah.
I never said that.
Oh yeah. I was there on weekends, dude. Yeah.
Yeah.
You were getting worried.
But I like the beginning of that, and then you lost me when you started adding like 45 things.
Well,
to
so
it.
the morning routine was just get up, start working, and an hour and a half to 2 hours of most important shit.
And I like that because I might try that part, because at the end of the day, I feel like I need to get right to work, make sure I didn't miss anything, make sure everything's ready to go for the day for everybody, make sure, you know what I mean? Make sure all these boxes are checked. And I think that that's where my routine is I wake up, I check my phone. That's just what I do. Take a piss, take a shower, get ready. And then I go to Breadco, I get a coffee, and I drive to work. That's it. That's every morning. And so I think it'd be good to do the work and then take a break, and then maybe I could find time to like work out.
Sure.
There.
Yep. And yeah, like I said, I know
Maybe workout.
I know the fluffier stuff, especially for some of the guys on this podcast, not for everyone. Like meditation, affirmations, whatever, like visualization, not for everybody. Me, 100%.
What's your latest affirmations?
My latest affirmations, I actually haven't been doing them lately. Yeah.
How about
Dan,
why?
Go ahead.
Dan, you need to tell everybody about the Rob Dyrdek TikTok you sent us last night about manifesting.
Oh, dude, I don't even remember it right now.
Oh my god.
Dan.
I don't remember it.
Come on, man.
I'm gonna have to watch it again.
So basically, I think the gist of it
You know how
is
many TikToks I watch tonight?
basically like manifesting is kind of bullshit unless you take some sort of action.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Well,
I thought that was like kind of playful.
And Dan loved talking about that. Like, just because you're thinking about the yacht that you have doesn't mean you're gonna fucking get there if you
Right. Well, that's the
don't
thing.
put in the
Like
work.
when you go back, listen to our Law of Attraction. See that, guys? I'm trying to point people to more episodes.
Good job, man.
Go back, listen to the episode on Law of Attraction. I talk about where it's like that, the secret or whatever, where it's like, oh, think that you're gonna have your debt paid off, and the next day you'll wake up and your debt will be no, fuck that. Like, and I 100% agree with that. Is there's so many, like the visualization thing is important, but you have to take action towards it. You can't just like think, oh man, I want to be a millionaire. I will be a millionaire. Like it's never going to happen unless you're actually taking those actions.
So we didn't really talk about a lot of like the worst habits. I know, and Dan, you just mentioned this, wake up in the morning, look at my phone. If I think of some of my worst habits, I think of snoozing my alarm, not doing what I intended to do that day. And then one of the things that I think, and I read about it that in that sleep book, was waking up in the morning and looking at your phone right away. And obviously, if you're on there and you're right to social media, like, all right, cool, I'm looking for that dopamine hit. Did I get any notifications last night? Or you are a business owner and you look at and you see emails and then you feel flooded and behind versus waking up like Matt said and you have your routine. You can at least get through a couple things that are important to you, then knock out your hard shit and then get on with the rest of your day.
So going off that, what Sal, and it kind of relates to Sal's quote where every morning you wake up with a blank slate. When you look at social media, or when you like check your emails, it might have come through or whatever, you're giving those external things an opportunity to start your day off, right? Could be funny, right? Could be something that's a video that somebody sent you that's good, or it could be something that pisses you off. So I forgot where I heard that from, but I always thought that was pretty good. Now, that being said, the past like month, I wake up and I fucking scroll through Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, email, like Hinge, right? Bumble, like every fucking app I possibly can.
Grinder.
A grinder, whatever.
I knew it's coming.
Whatever. It's a distraction. It's a distraction, whatever.
It just had to happen.
No, but and until I'm just like, fuck, finally I got to get out of bed. So I guess it's an excuse, but I guess daylight savings kind of fucked up everybody. Or are we just being...
I was thinking it was because I just
had
because we just had a baby. I was like, fuck, man, I am getting to work like right at 9. Usually it was 8:30. And I'm like, why am I so behind every single fucking day? I guess it is that mixed with we just had a baby and I get up once a night.
Yeah. So that being said, I want to transition. I know we've only got so much time left, but what, going forward, right? Like what are some of the, do you have any routines that you want to adopt that you're trying to get into in the morning, or you can just talk about just in general?
I mean, for me, I don't really... Yeah, maybe I need to adopt more routines, right? I have that morning routine and it doesn't really do anything good for me. I don't think it really hurts me either. It's just a going through the motions type routine. So maybe I can be more deliberate with it.
It could be if it ain't broke, right? If it ain't broke, don't fix it type deal. But
for me, it's like, it's not a routine thing. It's if every single day I kept the promises that I made to myself in the morning, like I think I would be way more productive and I would feel a lot better, because if you don't hit those promises every day, which is you could consider a power list or you consider whatever, right? And then that compiles over like 2 weeks. You're like, holy shit, I'm a piece of shit. I need to get my shit together, remotivate, but every time I keep those promises, and I don't know if that's really a routine thing because those promises change on a daily basis, but for me, I guess that's it.
A lot of the stuff I really wouldn't even have been thinking about if it wasn't for 75 Hard. Because with the way that program's set up, and I mean, I guess this can be the little episode 75 shout out to Andy Frisella and 75 Hard, but you think about what that day looks like, and what I would try to do is I'd try to read my 10 pages in the morning right when I woke up, and I was not ready to go back to sleep, and then knock out that first 45-minute workout, and it really helped you manage your day a little bit better. So I think it all depends on what you're looking to accomplish that day. So for me personally, like if I'm trying to adopt new routines or anything like that, I think it's stop hitting the snooze is my number one, and then reading 10 pages before I get my day going.
And I'd say I'm right with Bobby. I mean, lately, I used to be like the early bird, 5 o'clock. I was awake, ready to fucking kill the day. And lately, it's like the same thing. Like I hit that snooze, 6 o'clock rolls around, and then
I know I was at your shop this morning, ready to work.
Yeah, he for sure wasn't.
No, I was like, no shit.
Yeah,
it's like that's surprising.
Dan's like, I get to work at like 9. I'm like, I've already been at work for 2 hours. No, so mine would for sure be like, I like to wake up, like to start working out again. And same thing as you, like I have so many books that I want to read, and like I'll start reading. Like I started reading Jordan Peterson's book.
Was.
Yeah, and it's just like, oh no, just Those look like a lot of words on a page right now, and I
Yeah.
could be on TikTok right now.
But
So
I think that is a natural thing. It's a natural wave to be motivated and then unmotivated. You know what I mean? And that's why you see so many of these guys talk about, well, you got to do the shit you don't want to do, every day.
Yeah.
And sometimes you feel like doing it, sometimes you feel like you don't. And maybe that is the secret to like being like that ultra super high performing person. But when you look at daily routines, I found that when I try to plan every block of my fucking day, like I'm going to wake up and I'm going to work out from 8:30 to 9 or whatever. And then I'm going to go to work by 11:30, I'm going to be done with this part. And then when you try to like do it so perfect and then life happens, like it completely throws off your plan and then everything's fucked.
Causes anxiety.
Yeah. And so then it's just, and so I think that at some point there is like, you have to leave some room for, some fluidity in your day. Otherwise, you know what I mean? I just find it really hard to believe that somebody can just fucking plan their whole day with nothing else that comes up.
Well,
and shit gets...
Something that I think's interesting about that is like the people who are telling us these things are like that, like what they're telling you to do, like, and preaching it, that's their only job. So now like these people who are telling you to do all these things, like that's what they're selling. Like that's how they make their living, is telling you to do these things. Buy this book, it tells you how to do this program or whatever. We're trying to do what they want us to do along with also running our business. And that's where I think there's like 75 hard. I enjoy doing it. Do I think it's something that is sustainable for a lifetime? Absolutely fucking not. And I think that's part of my thing right now is my business is so strong. We have so much work right now that it's just a give and take. And I think that if these ultra high performers that Dan's talking about don't make it a little bit more aware of like, hey, like there's going to be times in life where, you're not going to be able to work out twice a day because you need to fucking sell shit so you can afford the gym membership, or so you can have that freedom to go to your daughter's dance recital on a Friday or whatever it may be. So I think like that's one big beef I probably have with a lot of the influencers who preach so hard, like fucking do the hard shit, do this, blah, blah, blah.
And that makes me think of a question. Obviously there's a ton of benefits from doing a program such as 75 Hard or any other program that's out there. But do you think anybody's been hurt from doing 75 Hard? Not physically or, because obviously they're getting in better shape. Obviously they're healthier. Obviously, they're taking in books and knowledge and things like that. But what did they leave? What did they sacrifice to get through 75 Hard? And has that hurt anybody? I'd be interested to hear if anybody sacrificed, work time or time with their family or whatever it is to complete that, which is fine because that's a personal decision and that's what you wanted to do. I just find it interesting because it is hard, like you said, to manage all this shit, especially in our position where we have businesses, but we don't have fucking 400 employees and 10 SVPs that I just walk into their office and say, hey, motherfucker, what's going on with this? Is everything cool? Okay, great. And then go to the next one. Okay, there's a problem. What do we need to do? You know what I mean? Like I still got to do fucking invoicing. You know what I mean? So I'm just curious there on the, having those scheduled routines like that. Like, are people sacrificing other areas of their life?
So I can kind of talk on that because there's definitely time I've lost time at work. And Dan, you've called me out for it, right? Like, not being in the office as much as I should when maybe some of my employees are. And to an extent, it's like a lot of times I am getting shit done just outside of work and it's outside of the office and it's easier. But no, there's been times. But I think a lot of those times are like, I think for the most part, I want to tell myself that like it's taught me better time management, like in the long run. Like whole Live Hard program, not to jock for sell like all day, every day, but whole Live Hard program has been game changer for me. And just in terms of like discipline, in terms of like my mentality on shit, like down all these different avenues of like relationships, interpersonal, business. Bobby, I've had a conversation with you about it. So yeah, but there's also probably a lot of people that are like, oh, I'm doing this program and like not doing work, period, or like letting it bleed into every other area of their life. I'm sure people do. It's give take, no matter what.
Imagine if you had a wife and kids on top of your work and your program of like life gets in the way. Like I think like Dan said, like I can't imagine like, oh, I got to get a workout in, kid. Can't go throw a ball with you.
Yeah, well, that's the thing is like I feel like it's a priority thing, and like I know that I could be, and actually I've lost 6 pounds in this like
Nice.
week or whatever, just eating healthier and like one workout.
Flex.
But yeah, it's total flex. I'm coming for you, Matt.
There you go.
But what I'm trying to say is that like I choose hanging out with my family, or I choose my business, or I choose this, or I choose that over working out. It's not that I don't want to be in better shape. Obviously, I do, but I don't want it more than I want time with my family, money in my business, whatever it is. And then when I do get that time to just decompress and fucking be alone, do I want to spend that like last little wedge of my pie working out? No, I don't, And so I think that where it's like, if I did, maybe I would be a higher, a lot more things would be better for me maybe. And maybe I would lose that weight. But at the end of the day, like I get a small piece of my pie to myself where I get to decompress. Other than that, everything else is priority over just hitting the gym all the time. So
And that's when Dan puts on the VR goggles.
Mhm.
dude, the Oculus is pretty sick though.
Yeah. So
When are you going to bring that?
I can bring it in.
So for mine, and just to throw it out there, I'm actually with you guys. So when I'm starting phase 3 up, I'm going to start waking up again at 5
Flex.
or 5:30. Flex. Gonna start getting shit done. Flex. Gonna probably meditate, journal, vision board, all that shit. Flex. No, but realistically, it's gonna be the early stuff. It's gonna be waking up early. It's gonna be getting that stuff done way before anybody is like up and awake and doing anything. Also, it is kind of an employee flex when you're up and at 5:30 you're sending emails to your employees. So it's like they get in at like 9:15. And they're like, the fuck is this email doing here from 5:30 in the morning? So kind of like a,
I would do that. But
mental
only at
warfare.
12:30 and
mental
at
warfare.
night.
Just get up, send your employees emails at 5:30 and then go back to sleep.
You
Or
just
you
got to
could just
schedule
schedule
those. You just schedule them. You do them at 9 o'clock at night.
I
Schedule
didn't
to
even know
send
you
at
could schedule
5:15.
emails.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Fuck, all right.
If you do it like 5:34. Don't do it like right at 5:30.
Yeah. Okay. Good call. Yeah, that's all I got. And you guys got anything else before we close out?
No, I'm good.
No,
No,
it should
we
be good.
appreciate you listening. Dan, you want to give one more word on to the viewers and look into the camera when you say it?
Yeah, guys, listen, if you like our content, if you appreciate what we do, we enjoy it, obviously, and we do it to help people. But we do want to up our rankings. So if you could leave us a review. If you don't like us, then leave us a fucking bad review. But other than that,
Don't do that.
follow us.
Don't do that.
You can if it's bad.
Oh, actually,
we got
if
all
you,
our shit
if-
right here. I don't know what this P is.
hey, if you
What is that?
follow us on
Pandora.
Pandora
Yeah.
does Pandora
Pornhub.
does-
No, he knows that.
Yeah.
Follow us on, yeah. Follow us on
Actually,
Pornhub.
if you guys, and you probably are stop listening at this point, but if you guys leave us a 5-star review, but make fun of us, like make fun of any bit of who we are, we'll read it live. So just throwing it out there.
Chicken fuckers.
We'll read it twice if you're making fun of Matt.
Yeah, sure. Go ahead. My ego can take it. Probably not. All right, guys.
Andy just winked at the camera.
Yeah. Who winks at cameras?
See ya.
Later.